Hello guys, it's Psyker here. We're back again with the Psyker. We're going to be playing a little bit more today. I've capped out on all of the story content for now, but we're going to be running through some missions, just looking at some builds, playing with the character, getting to know him a little bit, looking at what he can do, and again discussing. So I want to see your questions down in the comments. I want to see you in the chat as well, getting involved, looking at this guy. Not quite digging the teal armor. It's not my favorite color, but it'll do. Once again, I just want to give a shout out to the composer as well for that music track. That is one of the better 40k music tracks that I've heard, at least. Quick go through the friends list. Don't know who they are. Stranger Danger and loads of other applicants, none of which I recognise. So we're going to go down quickly, take a look at the build down here. Looking pretty sharp. Just going to make sure that we've successfully tweeted out and told everyone we're here. Yep, we are good, we are live, we are good to go. Just going to switch over, check out the chat. There we go. Now, in terms of build at the moment, what I'm really enjoying is a semi-defensive build. We're going for precognition, which reduces the amount of incoming damage. Obviously, the shield wears off the more damage you take, and we're going to go with fiery form. And what I use is I use those combined with my armor ability, which is this. And that basically teleports me into the middle of the opposing units. I think it's a really fun build to use. You'll notice as well that although I do have 2 relics here, I've already got some actual items that are better. It's a sad thing about relic items. Keep them though, do keep them, because eventually you'll be able to use them in fusions to make your relics better. But don't worry about that right now. Now, although we can travel to the next mission here, it's about power level 500. So I'm going to have to do some regular missions, although I've got 200 fate up here. So if fate's going to load, and if the turret system's going to load, I can crack on and have a little bash at doing some turret missions. Now, we've got this one right here. 230, I think that's going to be doable. Hunt, Small, Chaos, Legion, Vanguard. This is the investigation for this sector, second sector, so we'll crack on with this. That way we can get leveling our character up a little bit. Now, while we're loading, I'm going to crack open a beverage. You can guess what it is. Sounds good, doesn't it? Looking forward to sampling some. Right, while it's loading, quick swig. Lovely jubbly. This is going to be maybe a 1 to 2 hour stream. It's going to be a little bit of a quickie, okay? The other half's coming home. I've promised that we're going to have a few drinks and we're going to watch Tropic Thunder tonight. That is the date night tonight with the waifu. Not technically waifu yet, but she really should be. We've been together 7 years. So, let's crack on. Let me know... Oh, whoa. Let's sort this out. Let's get those sound effects back up. Now, I love this map. Only downside, these black glitches are, well, something less than preferable. How are you doing there, Mac, buddy? How are you doing, Kirsten Williams? Nice to see you in the chat. Nice to stop on by. Any questions you guys have got? Is that Christian or... Sorry, I can't read too well. I've got that monitor too far away. Is it Kirsten or Christian? I'm really sorry. My eyesight's going on me because I'm getting old. And I've just got the font set up too small on the chat. Okay, so I'm dying already. We can use some abilities here just to deal a bit of free damage. Right, let's rock on. Christian. My bad, man. My bad. Right, so we're going to get a little bit of health back here, and then we're going to just jump into these 2 like a madman. So we're going to do 3, we're going to do 2, we're going to do 4. I've summoned a demon. We're off to a good start. Get ready with that inoculator as soon as it's ready. Oh my freaking god. Summon another demon. Now, I am fairly liberal with these abilities. Let's get out of there. Okay, a little bit of kiting is going to be necessary for the way I play, which apparently is summoning far too many of these things, which sort of nearly gets me killed far too much. Now, we'll go with 3, 4... Oh, dear. Did the wrong ability. I'm going to die here, but I killed him first. That's fine. We're going to make it through this. How are you doing, Harmon? Nice to see you, brother. Nice to see you, my friend. Now, we're going to wipe out these dudes. I don't feel like I have to, but... Boo-boo, boo-boo, boo-boo. Right, there we go. So the bad side of having all these defensive abilities that I have found is that they each cost a lot of heat. So although casting 3-2 is good, so I do 3-2, I'm now not going to take much damage. I'm now going to teleport. I need to use more auto attacks from my staff in between. So what you'll notice, every time I use my left click, it reduces my heat and makes me summon less demons that are, well, going to try and bite my bum. Regenerate tower. I don't think you need one of those, my friend. Beep-boo. Now, get stuck in there again. Again, I really like this. Whoa. Oh my god. So much headache. So much headache. Teleport. I'm pressing the wrong button. I was pressing 5 instead of 4. I really like this build. It's a little bit dangerous. Yeah, there's a heat meter on the armor bar down here, my friend. So when that fills up, you're in trouble and you're going to have a bad time. So we're going to do 2, then we're going to do 3. And that is pretty much enough to trigger it. We're going to teleport in. That's my sort of basic rotation when I remember the buttons. And you do a few auto attacks to get your heat back down. That is pretty much the build. Need to do more auto attacks in the middle though. The actual staff ability is a great way to get rid of your heat and dump it. Now we're going to need some inoculator. I've rinsed it already. Absolutely rinsed my inoculator already. One thing I need to do is get rid of the secondary thing on it so it just heals me. That way you get twice as many of them. Let's get rid of the chat too. We don't need that there. We're not interested in that right now. Zap a few people with the lightning. I love that spell. So nice. Now, I'm not actually sure what supplies do for this character because obviously you're not throwing grenades at people and such. It's quite a small map actually, which isn't too bad. Oh, Jesus. These turrets do quite a lot of damage, you know. And so do the purple balls when you summon. I love this. It's like you're in the middle of a fight and all of a sudden it turns into this game of Tetris or Leapfrog where you're just trying to survive balls of purple doom that you summoned because you were too gung-ho. I really like this class. I mean, the fact that it gives you extra stuff to do. 3 and 4. There we go. That's my rotation. Please remember it. I'm really struggling to get this in my head right now. Right, we'll do a 2, we'll do a 4, we'll do a 3, and then there we go. It does quite a lot of damage AoE-wise. I'm hoping perhaps I can make it larger and cheaper and something else. I'm not entirely sure. When I hit level 10, though, that's when you're going to unlock the sort of the next rune and having to... this is going to be a headache. Not too bad, actually. Not too bad. I mean, the one ability does... I think I've got increased damage on it at the moment, which is why when I lightning someone, it just sort of... it does lots of damage. So what we'll do is we'll do another 3. And I'll just die. I was actually trying to figure out my rotation and just got rinsed.
That's our last shot. Don't fail the
That's our last shot. I've already died. Have I died? Oh, Jesus, I've died twice already. Okay. We'll do number 2. We'll play this safe from now on then. He says, running into a hell brute. Get out of there. That seemed to be some sort of slow on the ground that I summoned. So these are, the mobs are quite painful. If anyone says the game's easy, it's not easy, but it is easy if you're playing easier if you're playing a long-range character. One of the downsides of this class is a lot of the abilities like this, they're very medium range, so you've got to be in the firing line. You're kind of taking just as much damage as you would be from range, from melee. In we go. And I think I just summoned a demon back there as well. Just pooped out a demon. I feel like someone needs to make the meme. Salute! Oh! Salute! What's up, my friend? I would like you to make a sound effect when you're doing that, please. It'll make my life a little bit easier. I feel like a good meme for the Psyker would be, how long are you going to take, buddy? We're waiting for you in co-op. 2 missions Turkish. I'm just killing this demon. And then a couple minutes later, how long are you going to be, buddy? We're still waiting for you in that co-op. 5 minutes, dude. I'm just killing these 3 demons that I summoned. That's sort of the life of a Psyker. You walk into a fight thinking, yeah, I got this. Shouldn't be too hard. And all of a sudden, you've summoned more stuff than you were trying to kill in the first place. and your whole life and existence has just become a lot more difficult. Oh my god. Oh my Jesus. Teleport, 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 please. That's way too close. So I think I just took a load of damage from overheating. Yes, that would appear to be the case. Need to wait for this to go. Oh, not a demon gate there. Leave me alone. Okay, we'll retreat to an area I've already cleared and wait for better times. And we've got one more Hellbrute to kill. I'm starting to wonder if I can't... Yeah, that was far too close, Loken. That was far too close and very stressful. Ugh. Good job. Harmon, you found a girl that will play Martyr with you. You've got to keep her there. Oh, she's already your wife. There you go. There you go. As they say, should have put a ring on it. Already put a ring on it. Da 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 da. There we go. There we go. Right. I think that's a slow. Let's see what happens when he goes into it. No, not a lot. It exploded, but didn't smush him as quickly as it smushes me. That's for sure. Let's wait for my health. I mean, I've still got this Hellbrute to kill. I'm not going to rush into it. I don't want to die now. I've done enough stupid stuff. Okay. We can take these. Go in there with my flaming thing of doom. Now, what does this ability do? Force Smite. Let's just try it there. Ah, this is the sword I have equipped. It does do a moderate amount of damage, but it's not really my jam. Okay. Mental note, whenever I do 2 defensive abilities in a row, you summon something. Jesus, that's kind of rough. I mean, you can't do much without something going wrong as a Psyker. Yo, what's up, Beer? How's it going, man? Haven't seen you in chat for a while. I haven't been in the YouTube channel for a while. This chap, IDIC Beer 40K, he has a YouTube channel of his own. You should definitely check him out. He's more tabletop sort of 40k stuff. He's really good with green stuff. Really, really good with green stuff. He's doing a really sick sort of Slaneshi project at the mo. Recommend if you're into the tabletop checking that out. Yes. And he's also in like a YouTube Facebook group where we talk about the woes and struggles of what the hell and how the hell do you YouTube? What is this place? And oh Jesus! Oh my God! Why did I decide to multitask? I think I've actually just failed the mission, haven't I? Oh my God! So I'm sorry, guys. We're gonna do that one again with. Yeah, that. Yeah. I need to cry and sob a little bit now. A lovely 48 experience. As you can see, I am suffering from the bug at the moment. That should not be 48. That is a bug, okay? The account experience from normal missions should be more. That's a nice graphical artifact there. You do still get some stuff. I got some Psi Focus. So let's go over to my character here and... did I get any Psi Focus? Maybe not. Scratch the Psi Focus. Now I'm really looking forward to getting the hit point tree because once I get another 600 hit points, life is going to be a lot easier. For now, I've gone into Area Effect. And I really want it. That's the girlfriend asking what we want for tea. We're just going to ignore it. Apologies for the ringing in the background. I can't even... I'd have to go downstairs to turn it off. By the time I go there, it's just... Life is so hard. Life is so hard. We're going to go with Endurance instead of Precognition. I think I prefer that. We're going to pop that boop, right there. Okay, we're going to have another crack at that mission. Is there anything else I can buy that's going to make my life a little bit easier? 27, not really worth it. We'll get another phone call in a second, mark my words. A little bit more damage reduction will go for that. Not really, not really. We'll change the inoculator too if we can. That's a slide upgrade. That's a slide upgrade. Let's upgrade a few upgrades. So we're just raising our power rating a little bit here because unlike what I said in my guide, it actually... Oh, fairly big upgrade. The missions don't actually scale with you. They are predetermined for the story. So that's some facts. Dual wield does indeed rock. Right, there we go. No, mate, she doesn't come with a mute button. And I can't select this as being empty. Ah, there we go. Perfect. 14 uses. Much better. I don't really need to boost damage. That's just silly. I tell you what, though, I better just Facebook her quick and tell her I've already sorted tea. Otherwise, I'll be in trouble. The last thing we want is a mad, crazy girl coming in midstream yelling at us because we haven't sorted out tea. Sorted food, job done, communication done. Oh, I didn't send any kisses. I may be in trouble. Right, let's load in. We'll tackle that boss when she comes home. For now, let's crack on and play games. So, we're going to have another go at this. And I'm going to be less of a derp. That is my plan. What have I cooked, my friend? I have cooked a Chicago Town takeaway pizza for a family for myself. And she's on a diet at the moment, so I'm helping with that as I do literally all of the cooking. She's got a vegetable version of... Excuse me, Caius. I'm trying to talk here. Shut up. Right, she's got a barbecue pulled pork made of vegetables. Some weird vegetable I've never heard of. I'm lazy. I bought it out of a shop. I do cook sometimes. Normally I do. But not today. I mean, it's Friday. It's been a long day. You know how these things go. You know? I'm sure someone else out there does. Sometimes you just can't cook. You know, Friday feeling. That, and I'm planning on slowly drinking more and more beer until I don't really recognise what an oven is. That's just a way to get over a long week. Not that I recommend binge drinking, but it is part of British culture. Not one of the better parts of British culture, it has to be said. Right. Get out of there. Use one of my 13 inoculators now. A little pro tip for anyone out there that's looking to make their life a little bit easier. Get rid of the stuff you don't want on the inoculator. Right. And then run the hell away at the moment you see any trouble, because Psyker is squish. Really need to get this upgraded. Yeah, it's basically pizza night, Tropic Thunder night. Probably go get through a couple of beers and crack open a bottle of wine. That is the... it's so middle class, isn't it? Although we're not having asparagus, it could be worse. There we go. And over here we have a health orb. Or a health globe. Boop. Was it health? I think so. I don't know what it's doing. Right. Right. Let's cast some spells. There we go. 2 defensive abilities in a row will see you punished. It's very worth remembering that. And I'm still taking a whopping amount of damage just from basically spamming 2 abilities in a row. It's pretty rough. Pretty rough. So how is everyone else finding the patch at the moment? Are you... I should really be paying attention here. But I haven't died once yet, so... I kind of feel like first death you can go autopilot. Before the first death, that is. Second death, you're like, nah, maybe I shouldn't be quite so stupid. If you die 3 times, well, it's too late. But after the second death is when you sort of think to yourself, okay, maybe I should play properly. Maybe other people don't like to live life on such a fine sort of line, but... yeah, that rotation's working for me. Not a fan of the sort of black bugs everywhere, but hey, alpha things. Looking good. How's the sound coming out, by the way? How is the sound coming out? I mean, I know you can hear me because you're responding to me, but how's the game sound compared to the sort of other sound? Because I know when I watched the stream back, actually, day before yesterday, I could barely hear myself, although that might have been my really bad headset. Right, summon the bad evil things. Kill those quick. Nuked them down. Get out of there. Right, we nuked the Marines. Yo, AWC, how many 1,000 years of experience did I just kill? If assuming they're from the Horus Heresy, let's say 10,000 years each. Presuming they weren't born in the Horus Heresy, so let's say 2,300... 20,600 years experience just down the toilet there. Didn't even break us up. I broke a sweat. Never say anything about not breaking a sweat, because you will die. No Necrons at the moment, my friend. It's predominantly Chaos orientated at the moment. The developers do have plans to add the majority of 40k lore into the game. However, the next race is going to be Well, I say race. It's going to be Night Lords. Well, Night Lords are actually already in it. It's just most people haven't got to them yet. Dark Elder will be the first Xeno sort of to be present. And there is going to be another faction or two within final release, but we do not know what they are yet. So looking forward to finding out, though. There will be the 4 Chaos Gods, so I'm looking forward to Slaanesh to see if the Australians are allowed to even see Slaanesh. I know their censorship rules are pretty harsh. I think there's going to be a distinct lack of boobs for Slaanesh, so I don't know how they're going to get around that. Just have a load of pixelated pink women running around, I guess. Not entirely sure. We'll see. We'll see. It's all fun and games, though. Right, we're going to do this. We're going to do this and cause something bad to happen, and then we're going to charge in and smush them. Now, I'm really looking forward to getting some ranged AoE, because at the moment, my main AoE comes from face planting them, which is fun and all, but, you know. And I just discovered the other day that this ability here, Fiery Form, as it's called, actually gives you some damage reduction, 15%, which is not actually too bad. The other skill I have here gives me 20. So combine these two skills and actually, even although I summon demons all the time, I'm fairly tanky. I just need to sort of get some goddamn skill points. Now, let's just load out of this. Get me out of here. Whew. Right, how many missions do we have in the prologue of this game? Yeah, there's 2 chapters, and I think it's 3 to 4 missions per chapter, probably 3. And then the rest are placeholder. There will be 10 chapters, and it's also worth acknowledging that the core campaign for the game is designed to be a prologue. It's not designed to be running throughout the entire game. You do your core campaign, and then you go into this open world sector, and that's where the seasons are. Every subsector there will have its own story as a form of campaign. Did we get experience? Objective completed. Oh, we did get some rank points. We've ranked up. Have a sip of beer quick. And within the interview, they're going to be talking about this more. We unlocked Foreboding. We'll have to go and check that out. Within the season system, there will be more campaign being added. What? Bullshit. Demonetized. No swearing allowed. Yeah, oh my... Neocore! Neocore, please! Well, rip the stream. We did 23 minutes. It was a good stream while it lasted. I bet there is a developer in here who was like, I will give this 3 to 5 minutes. So if anyone's watching the replay of this, literally just skip forward 3 to 5 minutes. But what I'm going to do is just sit here and have a chat with people in for now. And if the video is not more than 5 minutes longer than this, then you can assume that Neocore just decided to mock me. But the fact that there's maintenance at the moment probably means that the hotfix for the weekend is in, so co-op should be working. I mean, that's the 2 main things at the moment are... Let me just turn this singing down, because although I love having sort of a nice orchestral behind me. Right, there we go. It's pretty epic music though, isn't it? Pretty epic. What was I saying? Major bugs that are facing the game at the moment are the fact that the several PvE characters just keep going missing, and several quests that you should be able to do keep getting blocked, which is a bit of an issue. Co-op's not currently functioning, but may work. What does work? You need to alt and F4. I mean, it's a fair point that restarting the game may be of some use, so let's just see. I'm just going to check if OBS has game capture, video capture device. Let's just remove that. I don't want to send a screenshot because I have no idea what I've got on my desktop at the moment. So let's just bug out of that quickly, in which case we'll be going to black screen. Peace and quiet though, how about that? And we're just going to restart, just on the off chance. Doesn't look like there's a patch. There's nothing showing there. Just reloading the game. Oh, back to the operatic music we go. Hey Hobbit, how you doing, buddy? Console release date will be to be confirmed, but I have a feeling. No, you know what? I don't think it is to be confirmed. I think it's Q1. I am quite sure that the games are all being developed together as such. Neocorply? Okay, the game's loading. The game is loading. I just hadn't let it load properly. Logging in. So the network error generally means that the maintenance, I think, is over. However, I may not have downloaded the patch yet. Sometimes what happens, so I may need to now restart Steam. Ugh, it's going to be one of those days, isn't it? Logging in. Now, this looks promising. Could it be that we're going to log back in and check out the new skill that we just got? Maybe not. We'll find out soon. Hang in there. Suspense. Hydra stream. Okay. Back-end connection problem. It's not looking too promising, is it? We'll exit. I'm going to restart Steam just in the case that there's a download that I haven't downloaded yet. The game's going to crash. Get a crash report. Goody gumdrops. We're going to exit Steam. We're going to Control, Alt and Delete Steam. Pro tip. If you're not downloading a patch, sometimes restarting it helps a little bit. Just find it. Where are you, Steam? Let me zap you. Pew-pew. Steam is dead. The stream shouldn't be dead, though. Right, there we go. And then we're going to load up Inquisitor Martyr one more time. On the odd chance that there's the patch that I haven't downloaded yet. But there's normally, and there can be, a 5 to 10 minute delay here. So hang in there, guys. I'm going to try and get it up and running. If it's all going wrong, just blame them. This might just be something server-side that they're doing, so it's entirely possible I'll be able to log. No, it's fucked. I will give it a few more minutes, just to be fair. Yes, thank you very much for the congrats on... it's crashed again. On 2K subs. Much appreciated, my friend. Managed to do so in 10 months, I think, which is cool. And pretty much thanks to this game, really. Like, it's really the Martyr crowd that have carried me forwards. And I tell you what, while we're here, I'll tell you a little story about my roots and my beginning. For anyone that's not interested, you can just sort of mute me for a few minutes until I start playing the game again. When I first started into this, I'd just come out of playing MOBAs professionally. I played Smite and went to a few LANs. That was all well and good. Actually got kicked off of the team and thought, you know what, fuck it, I don't want to do this anymore. Had some bad experiences with other people. So I decided to do something different. So I started coaching MOBAs. Did that for about 6 months. Had a bit of fun. A few of the people I played with won the Paragon World Championships. They did pretty good. I, though, thought tutorials are my thing, so I decided to do some more time tutorials. It was a technical game. I liked the technicality to it. I thought there was a real lack of decent guides out there at the time, or a complete absence. Now, there are guides out there that are fairly good for certain players, but at the level of technicality I wanted to talk about, it just wasn't there. If you go right the way back, you'll see my old Mordheim stuff. And then just into getting the hang of that, learning to edit and stuff, this game was announced. It came out a couple months later, but one of the main reasons... Now, let me just have a sip of beer, because this is a thoughtful moment here. Oh, that's beautiful. One of the main reasons I am a bit of a fanboy for Neocore, and it's no secret that I like the guys. I had 30 subscribers when I first met them. 30 subscribers, okay? And I sent an email, got an email back within an hour. I was impressed. I sent another email. I got another reply. I asked all sorts of questions, hopped on the Discord, had a chat with them. And straight away, every question I had, everything I asked for, it was just a very good relationship from the start. Now, soon after, met them at the event in Nottingham, so up at the HQ, had a chat with them in person. They were equally welcoming there. They took an hour, no, I'd say half an hour out of their day, which was there to market the game, just to sit behind a desk with me with a crappy camera which couldn't pick out the audio, and they were happy to just sit there and chat. It's just evident when you talk to them in person that they are passionate about this project. They like the game. They want it to be better. They want it to be great. They're a cool bunch of people. They're a nice bunch of people. And the thing that sort of maintained my interest is I have spoken to other... No, let's rephrase that. I have tried to speak to other developers on a similar level. Right, we have an update, we have a patch. I've tried to communicate with other developers, and very few of them even reply to me. And that, granted, Neocore replied to me when I had 30 subs. These guys aren't replying to me when I've got 2K. And it's quite disheartening when you're like, yo, can I have a bit of information on this? Can you tell me a bit about that? And you don't get anything back. Now, there are some other Warhammer developers that are good. There are some. There's our update. There we go. We're downloading. It's only 10 meg, guys. We'll be right there. I'm not going to say who's good and who's bad. I feel like that would be a little bit unethical of me. But there are developers out there that have a severe lack of communication, despite having a large department dedicated to communicating with the public. There are some of the smaller companies that, of course, communicate excellently. And Neocore are the ones that have communicated with me the best. And hence, I love the game. I like them. They're cool people. They've done me favours too. Like the audio guy helped me choose sound equipment. He helped me for about half an hour. So if you've got audio problems in the game, blame me, because their audio technician helped me for half an hour to fix some equipment and to sort my EQ out, help me with some software issues. So they're a cool bunch. They're nice people. They really are. Booyah, level 8. Maybe we'll see me, well, fan of 40K. I have approached him, Game Night, and a couple of others that play this game, and I'm hoping we can all jump in a stream together a few times, maybe even do a couple videos together. Now, I mean, little old Hydra's not... Oh, whoa, we got a survey. Shall we fill out a survey together? The streaming at its peak in 2018. Survey time with Hydra. 3 best aspects of game. Well, you guys can see my survey results. How about that? What an excitable treat for you today. List what you best 3 aspects of gameplay experience during missions. Speaking with Hydra. No. We're going to go Psyker. Psyker skill modularity is probably the best thing, gameplay experience during missions. Number 2 is Psyker skill animations. I'm going to try and deliver a little bit of a message here. Psyker, what do you call it? Heat mechanic. If you haven't guessed, I'm making a video about how I think the Psykers made the other classes look bad. And I do feel like a little bit of work is going to be necessary to bring the other classes up to the standard of the Psyker. Not in terms of customization, but also in terms of animation, in terms of all sorts. 3 worst thing, other classes. All poop. No, other classes. Right, there we go. Anything related to Crusader. There we go. I just think the Crusader's incredibly bland and boring, but I really like the model. I'm in this awkward spot where I don't enjoy playing him, but I really like how he looks and I like his weapons and stuff. What's the most important? I know I'm being a bit troll here, guys. I'm not being as perhaps thoughtful as I should, but there you go. Megapol can have fun with this. According to you, what is the most important aspect that is missing from the gameplay experience during missions? Lack of other classes being more like Psyker. More, yeah, that will do. Above ×2. There we go. Send. Yes! 10 fate! God, that was worth it. Right, that's my good deed done for the day. We have done the story mission for this. Now, the next story mission is going to be a little bit harder. So we should have unlocked another one. Stolen relics. There you go. Stolen relics, you generally have to go and find a few boxes around the map. Should be a little bit of fun. I'm not saying Crusader is terrible, my friend. I'm not saying Crusader is bad. I'm just saying I don't like it. And bear in mind that I've been playing this for like 9 months. And Crusader was the first character I got. So I have played enough Crusader to last me a very, very long time. But my major gripe with him right now is that I am excited about picking and choosing a playstyle and builds with this Psyker and choosing the abilities I want to use, and I can't do that with a Crusader. Like, you can't... You look at it! Look at it! It's just amazing! Oh, it's just... The fact that I can choose to do something and feel like it's something I chose to do, is incredibly valuable in an ARPG. Incredibly valuable. The sensation of creativity. And that is... It's impossible to create or get that sensation with items that literally tell you what you can and can't do. That being said, I like the playstyle of the character. It's just the lack of that sense of creativity. Whoa. Just the lack of creativity that for me has... Oh, hello, demon. Spells. Spells cause problems. Guns don't kill people, psychers do. Normally your own people as well. Hug the hover, that will hug the cover, that will get me a little bit of life regen. Right. Stand still. Ugh. You remember the meme we talked about earlier when I said I think it's going to be a well-known Psyker meme that yeah. You start a fight against 3 enemies and you end a fight against 5 enemies. Ugh. That's one of those lessons. Remember to use your firebolt in between because it lowers your heat. Yeah, so I can actually sit here and cast this and it just lowers my heat. And if you're not a complete spanner, you remember to do that. That's why, and we had a little chat in the forums about this today, I think that the heat mechanic is a balancing mechanism and a learning curve, which, and again, this is one of the other reasons I like the Psyker, because it's the only character that really has a learning curve in terms of mechanics. And I mean that honestly and truthfully, because I have to learn how many abilities I have to use and when I have to use them, or I die. Or I die. And the Crusader, I hold down left mouse button, or I hold down another ability, but none of which kill me if I do it wrong. And that for me is the best way of explaining why I don't like the Crusader, or the Assassin so much for that matter, because I don't get punished for making mistakes. That is a very good point, my friend. If the Psyker can spawn extra enemies, surely he's at an advantage. You know what? I have no idea if they count towards your total XP. And on that note, we're supposed to be gathering relics. Let's just have a quick check here and see if there are any. Is that a relic? No. Thought that might have been a relic box there. Okay, marching on. Do this. Teleport over there. Pow-pow. Look at me go, mum. I'm on fire. I like this ability, but I kind of feel like the flames are a little bit 2D. I'd kind of like to see spinning fireballs around you. But overall, I mean, in terms of animations, you look how far they've come from Van Helsing. They're doing a good job. I mean, they really are. The graphical improvements, if you played Van Helsing, they've made some big leaps and bounds recently, and I think they can all pat themselves on. Well, whoever did the animations can pat themselves on the back and say, "I done make good-looking fire." But we've also got to be honest. It did take them 2 years in between ditching Van Helsing to come out with the beta for Martyr. So, I mean, it's taken a while to get where we are today with this game. I think something that's often overlooked in terms of game development is people just assume that it's just a quick reskin of this, make some animations for that. I mean, the average now to animate a character is about 12 people. And I mean, maybe a developer can fix me on. I have no idea how many Neocore use, but the average, I mean, you've got motion capture, you've got actually creating the models, you've got animating the models, you've got texturing the models, you've got lighting the models. And generally each of them are done quite often by different people. But you go back to Sonic the Hedgehog, that's a one-man job. And not a particularly hard job at that. I mean, most people that are hobbyists can create a animation that's sort of fairly comparable to like some of the old 2D ARPGs. Oh, dodge, dick, duck, dive, dodge. Second one was definitely not dick, it was duck. Right, there we go. Okay, we just need to kind of recoup a little bit here. And rigging the models, yeah, servers are down. All you need to do, Malta, is restart Steam and you'll download the patch. And that should work then. So let's see what we summon out. I really should have streamed the boss fight as well. The boss fight was pretty damn cool. There we go. That's when things work well. Our first crate of the day. I've got a few of these to get. Welcome to the stream, by the way, anyone that's new here. It's great to have you here. Oh, hi. No, I meant to move then. That's where... Let's talk a little bit about clunk. This is going to be a subject of the video too, but I'll do a little bit of rehearsal with you now. Why does Martyr get a reputation of being clunky? Well, I think there's lots of different... And let's just clarify that. It doesn't necessarily have a reputation of being clunky. Some people have accused it of being clunky. And I think rightly so, because if you compare it to some of the other AAA ARPGs, things aren't as smooth. Now, obviously, an element of that is polish, but there are certain aspects about combat that are a little bit awkward. Now, moving in and out of cover, granted, it's not a smooth experience. It's nothing like Gears of War where you bounce around from cover to cover. Obviously, it's never going to be. Equally, it's not as Tetris-like as a squad, but Jesus! Oh, goodness gracious, great purple balls of fire. Go away, that nearly killed me. It's not as smooth as like some of the top-down squad-based strategy games that you might see where you click someone into cover, you do some moves, you click them out of cover. It's all very like... It's almost as if you lock in and you sort of hear a nice little shoop. There you go, you're in cover. It's not quite the case within this. You press a button, you're kind of in cover, you're not quite sure. Yeah, I don't know. Another demon, great, because there's not enough here already. I think we're going to need to... Mental note. Less gun-ho. There you go. So yeah, there's the fact that that's sort of the case with the cover system. It is a little bit awkward. And a lot of this, I think, is just animation refinement. Perhaps control refinement. But we do also have to appreciate that comparing this to a Blizzard game is a bit silly. I mean, the mere expectation that this will be as smooth as a developer team that had 500 people. But that's not to excuse it, because, you know, there's always stuff you can do to improve a game. But at the moment as well, I think with the animations, is you get the impression, if I cast some abilities here, that the pausing in between movements is very... it doesn't make it feel like you're doing a chain. So if in an ideal world, and granted it's 3 times the effort, if I swung this differently each time and it felt like the movement was flowing, that I think would come across visually as a lot better, rather than being one animation that's cycled. I think that's something that could maybe be done, and for some of the abilities, for the melee abilities, it does work quite well. So we've got 2 there. Okay, so we're all done with this route. Onward and upward to the next one. Let's check out the chat. Yes, melee combat. Another issue in terms of melee combat and clunkiness, and I think this is a very, very important fact that's been slightly overlooked, is the fact that this game has a disproportionately high amount of ranged units compared to a lot of other ARPGs where everything moves to you to hit you. You spend a disproportionately high amount of time, oh, go away, moving towards enemies rather than whacking them. And that, I think, is a little bit of an issue, because travel time is not combat time, is not fun. And that, I really think, is one thing that Martyr's currently got an issue with. I don't know if it's even possible to come up with a system where you move you attack while moving towards an enemy you've got highlighted, like you would see in some action-orientated games, like a third person. While swinging, you slowly strafe forward. Yes, I think that's something that may help mitigate travel time. But at the moment, what we do to mitigate travel time is you pull a pack just like this, you move backwards, you wait for them to group up, and then you bash them. And that's not fun. That's not fun. So, I mean, for all the accusations that I'm a complete white knight, I do accept that this game has certain things about it that make it not the best ARPG in the world. However, it is still a game I like, it's still a game I enjoy, and it's still a game I'm going to play. And I tell you what, my friend, Ergo's just asked why you would play this over some of the other ARPGs out there. And I've asked this question to the developers, and their response, and I'm slowly coming around to it, is the difference in terms of season content. So you look at a traditional game, what it's going to do in a season is make you typically, not always, but typically, play a campaign again, do something you've already done again. Please move, please move, please move! Right. And you're basically going to be playing through it again with some extra abilities, some extra items. So you basically do the same thing with, and you try and race to the end as fast as you can, etc, etc, etc. Whereas Martyr is going to be adding new enemies, new planets, and yes, there's new enemies within seasons, granted, within pretty much all games. But Martyr aims to add a new story as well, and increase the level cap, increase the type of weapons. You feel like you're moving forward with a character rather than starting a new character afresh. And I think that for Martyr is going to be... And this is where in the interview I said to Victor, oh, so it's like an MMO. Because in my mind, in that sense it is, in that it adds to what your character has available rather than makes you doing the same stuff again. And granted, it is still recycling content via random mission generation. So a lot of what you're doing will be stuff you've already been doing because you'll just be doing missions in a new area. But I think they're doing it in a way that you can sort of see that it's a little bit different. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to satisfy everyone, but that's what I think the game offers a little bit different. And, of course, why did I clear this? There's not even a chest here. What a freaking div. I've earned some beer for that. Ugh. There's also the fact that it's 40k. Let's be honest. It's 40k. 40k has its own fan base. People will play this just because it's 40k. It's sort of the reason 40k's got into the problem it has of so many games being bad, is people are willing to buy bad games because they're 40k. And games do better than they should because they're 40k. Now, I don't know whether I don't know if it's fair to say Martyr's getting more sales than it would do otherwise because it's 40k, but I mean, I think it's safe to say the IP is the thing that's attracting a lot of people that are playing the game. Like, Van Helsing had a player base, yes, but it wasn't massive. I think this will have a bigger player base. Let me phrase it this way. I think even if this was just as good as Van Helsing, it would have a bigger player base because it's 40k and there's more 40k fans. I'm not entirely sure that it's a copy of Path of Exile, because as far as I'm aware, in Path of Exile, you'll make a new character every time you do that, and you'll try and level up a new character within the same campaign with different modifiers. That's my experience of a Path of Exile season. And Martyr does not do that. Martyr says, you've got your character, here's a brand new subsector, a new area to explore, and here is stuff to do. So in that sense, I think there's a difference, but I may be wrong about Path of Exile. Lilandra, I'm kind of with you on Van Helsing, that I liked it. I tell you what I liked about Van Helsing. I liked the story, and that was the highlight for me. That's the only thing that kept me playing for as long as I did. I didn't complete it, actually because I didn't find the skill system that riveting. I think the Psyker skill system's better than Van Helsing. I think the Assassin and Crusader system is worse, but clearly they wanted weapon diversity, and they've gone for a compromise there by giving us loads of different weapons to choose from, but going for the compromise of having them each non-adjustable. So I don't think the trade-off there was entirely worth it, but I think the Psyker has sort of made up for that. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what Blizzard copied from AoE, but maybe in some of the future DLC that they came out with, some of the stuff was. Not entirely sure. I'm not sure. I think Diablo 3 predates. I mean, Path of Exile's older than a lot of people give it credit for. I think that, what was it, 2007 it started out? I can't even remember. Perhaps the gentleman means that some of the League features within the game have been copied. So, for example, a League with a certain type of enemy or something like that. It looks like the other half's home. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish this mission, do a little bit of a rant and ramble, as we always do. And then I'm going to probably head downstairs and shove my pizza in the oven and shove the rest of this beer in my mouth. But first we've got to complete this mission, which may or may not happen. And then, of course, we've got to talk about and look at our brand new skills we're going to get. Look a little bit into the customization options available to us. 4. There we go. Teleport. Save my bacon. I need some mouse hotkeys here so badly. So we're going to cast this. Then we're going to get our heat down a little bit. Then we're going to cast that. And we didn't summon a bad thing. Good job. Hydra's learning. Hydra is evolving. Oh, Jesus. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus! Listen to the sound effects, Hydra. Listen to the sound effects. We can zap him first. No, we can't. Teleport, teleport, teleport! Jesus, so stress. Much wow. Okay, let's go hide behind cover and use the cover system. How about that today? Whew. Right, there we go. Yeah, RTS, yep. I mean, the game that I think attracts fans, even if you don't like Warhammer, is Total War. And maybe to an extent Vermintide. Because if you say to someone it's like Left 4 Dead, there's enough Left 4 Dead fans that they'll play Vermintide just because it's a bit like Left 4 Dead. I don't think many people are going to play this on the grounds that it's like Diablo. I don't think loads of Diablo fans at the moment are going to come to this and be like, oh, wow, this is the game I've always dreamed of. Because, and I mean this with the utmost respect, but I feel like as an ARPG, it is a simplified, more user-friendly version of most AAA titles. In that, I mean the Assassin and the Crusader don't have, excuse me, can you walk? A vast amount of customization. The build diversity is not necessary. Come on. Hang in there. Is not necessarily there. So I think it's sort of, it's not going to attract all of the ARPG fans out there in the world. I think the 40k fan base is going to be the predominance of the player base, but I am hopeful that some Diablo and Path of Exile players will mosey on over and at least enjoy the story and at least maybe enjoy some of the PvP. And there are ARPGs that are perhaps a little bit more basic in terms of build diversity and such that are still popular. It's not to say that it has to be incredibly complex in order to be successful. There are ARPGs. Now I don't know about Victor Van how complicated that was, but what was it? Helldivers isn't particularly complex, but it's still immensely enjoyable. Granted, it's gone for slightly more of the arcade route, but I think there's opportunity. Ooh, precognitive dodge. Let's go check out our new skills. That is a lot of fate. How about that? Investigation complete, a lot of fate, and a lot of rank points. We have just leveled up to level 9. Groovy. Right. D2 ladder resets, influence bar. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I can see that. A lot of the systems from PoE D3 have copied it. Why am I wearing salmon? I mean, who on earth allowed... That's heretical, surely. I'm not saying a man can't wear pink, but an Inquisitor? A Psyker wearing pink? I mean, you're just asking to be mistaken for a cultist. What a mess. Right, we've unlocked 2 of these abilities. So we've got precognitive dodge, plus 40 dodge against ranged attacks for 20 seconds. You know what? That actually sounds like it might save my bacon, because ranged attacks are really what does the predominance of damage to me. So I'm going to swap that with that, and 40 dodge rating. That's 40% dodge, I think, which is pretty good. Really impressed with that. Real Inquisitors wear salmon. You know what? I'm not even going to argue with that. And here's what you do, guys. You get yourself your ability that you want, precognitive dodge, and this is what you can put into these 3 slots. So at the moment, I don't have many options, because I put all of my skills, which unlock these things, by the way, I put all of my skills into increasing my AoE damage. So I can reduce the cooldown. Let's have a look. 40 dodge, 20 seconds, 35-second cooldown. So cooldown's far too long. We'll make that a little bit lower. That's much better. 20 seconds, 25 second, perfect. Lovely jubbly. So we can reduce the cooldown, and with the other one, we could increase the effectiveness. We could also increase the effectiveness this way, which would give us... I believe it increases the amount of dodge, but because it doesn't show properly, we're going to rock with this. So we've got a bit of dodge, got a bit of that. Don't need that ability. I don't know. We'll do a little bit of planning another time. But guys, that's how you change the Psyker abilities. I'm going to be doing a guide and looking through each of the spells, giving some ideas on builds. Let's stop looking at our Psyker butt. There we go. And let's just pop to the shop quickly before we go. And to the crafting station, see what we can do. So now, obviously, we can salvage some stuff here. Is there any recipes that we have? It's always worth remembering you craft stuff at your own level. So if you've just leveled up, it's always worth popping to the crafting station. Useful little tip for anyone that's new here. You can just sort of pop on in. And I have a feeling someone just said that they were a new viewer in French. Where are you? Neodeg, how you doing, buddy? Welcome, 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 welcome. You've just discovered through me. Well, thank you very much. I'm glad I can help you. Check out the guides on Steam. They're going to be updated soon. Many of them are out of date. Many of them are out of date, but they will be updated soon. There's going to be a couple of videos coming this weekend. So Signum over here, always to your own level. So as soon as you level up, head over to the station, and what you do is you shove the things you need here. Right click, right click, right click, and right click. So it's a little bit of mix and match. A fun little mini game checking that you've got brain cells. And now I've made something that's 21. So that's a little bit of an upgrade. And let's see if my brain cells still work. Managed to complete a second mini game. I must be some sort of god. And you can also upgrade all of the other bits and bobs, etc. Now, of course, you can't. Hovering over that, if any developers are watching, would be really, really nice to actually compare to what I've got equipped. I have a feeling it probably should do that, but interesting. Would be handy. Guys and girls, thank you very much for watching the stream. I'm afraid I'm going to be calling it a day now. I may pop on later for a couple of hours, but I've got a big pizza that needs to go in the oven. I've got a can of beer here that I really need to drink. It's a Friday night. I will be doing more streams over the weekend. I'll probably do another one Saturday or Sunday, but I may spend tomorrow doing videos. Also got the developer interview coming soon. Now, there was a very small delay on me getting the audio back for the developer interview, so that's going to be coming probably Tuesday. I'm getting the audio from them back because they've recorded it. So I'm going to be doing the interview upload probably Tuesday evening because I'm going to have to do some editing and make it look pretty and such. But there's going to be a lot of information coming out in that you've never heard before. We're going to be finding out about a lot more detail about the seasons. We're going to talk about the retinue system. We're going to talk and lay out the DLC plan for the game in a bit more detail, talking about schedules, what's coming. A lot of this is already general knowledge, but some people new to the game are going to be very, very curious about this. There's going to be a lot of stuff within the interview that you won't have heard before, so it's really going to be something to keep an eye out for. And, ooh, a purple recipe. How about that? Guys and girls, have yourself a great week. Have yourself a great weekend, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Make sure, like, subscribe. See you down in the comments. I love reading them. I try and reply to as many as I can, so take care.